Hello and welcome to Global One Media's Stocks to Watch series, where we bring you the latest information that will hopefully help you make wise investment decisions. I am Munir Barazi, your business analyst and host, and today I'm pleased to welcome Dean Skurka, the president and CEO of WonderFi, a company that offers investors a broad-based exposure to the worldwide digital asset landscape. The company is listed on the TSX Venture Exchange as WNDR, on the OTCQB as WONDF, and on the WKN as A3C166. Hello, Dean. It's good to have you with us today.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
You're welcome. So WonderFi invests in various digital asset companies. Can you tell us the story behind how the company was founded and its driving mission and vision today?
Yeah, absolutely. So WonderFi went public through the Canadian capital markets in summer of 2021. Its goal at the time was to acquire and roll up regulated cryptocurrency trading platforms that were operating in Canada. In January of 2022, WonderFi announced its first acquisition, which was the acquisition of Bitbuy, which is one of Canada's longest serving and most well-established crypto trading platforms. From there, the company acquired Coinberry in July of 2022. It acquired Blockchain Foundry in November of 2022, and more recently acquired Coinsquare and CoinSmart in July of 2023. When you put these companies together, what you have is one of the largest operators of digital asset platforms in Canada, with over 1.6 million registered users across our ecosystem and $17 billion of value traded lifetime across our platforms.
That's a really remarkable progress considering that you are a young company. Let's dive a little bit more in depth. So WonderFi owns, operates, incubates, and invests in digital assets ecosystems. Tell us more about each of those processes, as well as the digital asset companies you invest in.
Yes, absolutely. At our core, we are looking to acquire and operate crypto trading platforms that are regulated and operating in Canada. As mentioned, over the last 2 years, we have acquired 4 regulated cryptocurrency trading platforms in Canada. We operate 3 of them today, as we have integrated one of them, Coinberry, into the Bitbuy trading platform to extract operational and cost synergies from acquiring multiple trading platforms. So while we've acquired 4 crypto trading platforms, our plan is to integrate them into one single user experience through one trading platform operating through our regulated entity that exists through the Coinsquare trading platform that is the first and only of its kind with respect to being regulated by CIRO, which is formerly IROC. With respect to incubating and investing, we have a strong track record internally of incubating in new businesses or new adjacent verticals within our existing businesses. And I could provide a few examples of that. Bitbuy in winter of last year, in working with the regulators, was able to get licensed to offer staking services to retail Canadian participants. This would be an example of how we incubate new products and new offerings within our existing platforms. And another example would be SmartPay, which is a business that was incubated through within the CoinSmart business dating back to early 2020. SmartPay is a payment processing business focused on enabling merchants worldwide to accept Bitcoin and other digital assets for the goods and services they offer. This is an area that we've already experienced significant growth in over the past 2 years, and an example of how we're able to incubate businesses within the digital asset industry through our skill set, knowledge, and expertise within operating regulated crypto trading businesses and understanding the crypto industry as well from a holistic view, understanding the areas that are seeing significant growth and being able to build products and services to support that growth and service the demand for those products. Payments is something we're incredibly excited about, and through SmartPay, we have a really good footing within that market that we expand to grow over time, and we think that offers significant upside to our investors. With respect to investing, we currently own 43% of a business that's called Tetra Trust. Tetra Trust is the first and only regulated custodian in Canada regulated to custody digital assets. Again, we think the first mover advantage there gives that business tremendous opportunity for future growth, which will obviously benefit WonderFi shareholders long term as well. And so whether we own, operate, incubate, or invest in digital asset platforms, our goal is always to drive value back to WonderFi shareholders and diversify the exposure that we offer those shareholders through the various entities that we own, operate, and invest in.
It's a very interesting strategy, and I imagine it's very beneficial also for shareholders from a risk to reward standpoint. You've recently announced, as a part of this strategy, the finalization of a business combination with Coinsquare and CoinSmart. Can you provide more details about those two entities, as well as what that means for WonderFi and its shareholders?
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of this will tie into what we just discussed in terms of the diversification and owning, operating, incubating, and investing in various digital asset companies in the ecosystem. And so the landmark acquisition that brought together Coinsquare, CoinSmart, and WonderFi is something that really moves the needle for this business and provides significant value to shareholders over the long period of time. You think about Coinsquare first. Coinsquare, again, similar to Bitbuy, is one of the longest serving and most well-established crypto trading platforms in Canada. We think bringing together Bitbuy and Coinsquare really represents some of the more meaningful market share in Canada within the crypto trading platform segment. We're very excited to bring those businesses together, to combine those platforms, the users and the offerings that they have today, and that they will continue to develop through our product roadmap. Through the Coinsquare acquisition, we also acquired a 43% interest in Tetra Trust, which we've just talked about, another business that we're really excited about and believe has long-term opportunity for future growth. CoinSmart, at its core, developed a crypto trading platform that had over 200,000 registered accounts. Similar to our initial philosophy of how do we bring together some of the leading crypto trading platforms in the country, certainly CoinSmart was one of them. And so on the back of this acquisition, having acquired Bitbuy, Coinberry, Coinsquare, and CoinSmart, in our view, we have consolidated the crypto trading platforms that have the brand equity from a perspective of Coinsquare and Bitbuy, and have the user base to combine create the scale that we needed to be the market leader. And as I've mentioned prior, when you put these four businesses together, you're talking about 1.6 million registered accounts in Canada, which to our knowledge is the largest of any user base across the various platforms in market, and $17 billion traded lifetime. And then you look towards integrating these businesses, and there's significant opportunities for the user to benefit as well. I mentioned Bitbuy launch staking. That's something that we'll look to introduce to the Coinsquare users as well. And in addition to the CoinSmart acquisition from the trading platform perspective, I've already mentioned this, but they incubated a business called SmartPay back in 2020 that's really focused on payment processing within the digital asset industry. That's an area we're very excited about. That's an area within the digital asset ecosystem that has been growing significantly despite the consolidation over the last year and a half, and represents real utility with respect to how crypto can benefit everyday life and play a role in everyday life for people at scale. And you think about parts of the world where, like Latin America or Africa, for example, where there's lack of trust in governments or banking, or local currencies have significant volatility and risk associated to them. SmartPay and crypto payments can really solve a lot of those issues. And we think that need today represents a real opportunity for SmartPay. And then we also think, 3 to 5 years out, as payments become more commonplace in more mature markets like North America or Europe, SmartPay's presence today will allow it to continue to grow market share as, payments for digital assets become more mature in those markets and become more commonplace and more common for smaller purchases, everyday purchases. And so through these acquisitions of both Coinsquare and CoinSmart, we've really solidified our position within the crypto trading segment through the 1.6 million accounts, the 17 billion traded lifetime, the brand equity that we have through Bitbuy and Coinsquare. But we've also been able to focus on the diversification strategy that we're very much focused on now. Through the acquisition of CoinSmart, we acquired SmartPay, which unlocks a lot of opportunity and value to WonderFi shareholders. Through the Coinsquare acquisition, we've acquired a 43% ownership stake in Tetra Trust, diversifying exposure for WonderFi shareholders and at the same time offering significant long-term value through the assets that we own, operate, and invest in.
This is a very ambitious strategy, and you're focusing on maximizing value for both users and investors as well. But I would argue there might be also some challenges when it comes to implementation and integrating all of those businesses you're acquiring. This last acquisition effectively made you the largest regulated investor in the digital ecosystem in Canada with 1.6 million users. How are you managing this scaling process?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, I'd say at its core, being a regulated first crypto business, everything we do, has, the regulatory impacts or implications in mind. And having those good relationships with the regulators and properly communicating how we intend on migrating all of this activity into a single dealer entity with multiple brands associated to it, it really will go a long way towards the integration process. If you look back over the last 2 months, WonderFi has really shifted, its strategy in terms of, acquiring these businesses to where we are now in terms of integrating them and extracting the real synergies from an operational and cost perspective that we had identified as part of the global strategy on the justification for acquiring multiple crypto trading platforms. And so in the last 2 months, we have migrated the user bases from Coinberry and now CoinSmart into the Bitbuy trading platform, starting to extract those synergies from an operating and cost perspective. And what I would say is, having started that process and having successfully migrated off of 2 existing crypto trading platforms into one really demonstrates, to the regulators that not only are we capable of putting plans in place, but we're also capable of executing on those strategies in the timelines that we had anticipated, within the context of the regulatory requirements that we have. So building up that track record, and I would say, having a very clear strategy internally on how the pieces fit together has made, the migration or the second leg of these acquisitions, in a position where, we're able to do things on time as we've expected to and in a successful manner. And so now that we've migrated off those 2 platforms, our next migration will be towards the end of the year when we'll look to migrate Bitbuy and Coinsquare into a single regulated entity. These are things that get worked on behind the scenes months in advance. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And we feel strongly about the reasons why we're integrating these businesses, the benefits internally and to WonderFi shareholders that we'll get to extract from integrating these businesses. And, obviously there are challenges, and obviously, within a regulated context, things may move a little bit slower than you'd like them to, but we've set a clear plan in place. We've embarked along that path. And, through the migration of both Coinberry and CoinSmart, we're starting to demonstrate that that there is a clear plan in place here, and that we are on track to where we need, where we expect to be, through these integrations and these migrations.
Well, integrating those businesses shows a lot of operational excellence, I must say. What are your next milestones for WonderFi, and what excites you the most about leading the company?
Yeah, look, I'd say for us, as I mentioned, right now, we're very much focused on integrating these crypto trading platforms into a single user experience that creates meaningful synergies within the business. And, as we work through that, we are very much mindful of what comes next, as evidenced by, Bitbuy and its staking licenses. We really want to be at the forefront of the crypto industry in Canada in working with the regulators, finding the balance between consumer protection and innovation, but really focusing on bringing the products and services that the Canadian participants in this industry are looking for, and being able to offer those in a regulatory compliant environment like Coinsquare or Bitbuy. And as mentioned, we have started down that journey with staking, and through our licenses with Coinsquare, the products or features that we are looking at right now in terms of how do we bring these products to the Canadian market are things like equities trading, things like margin and derivatives trading, which we think create tremendous value for the Canadian crypto ecosystem, because in many respects, these are products, with referring to margin derivatives specifically, that don't exist in Canada today. And so what ends up happening is the participants that are looking for these products and services will find them, but they will find them offshore on platforms that are not regulated in Canada. And in doing so, put significant risk upon themselves. In 2022, we saw countless examples of offshore unregulated platforms either go bankrupt or be uncovered to be complete, scams or frauds. And from a Canadian investor lens, there's zero protections that they have. They have, very little recourse in terms of any sort of, response from regulators, because these platforms are not regulated in the jurisdiction they reside in. And so we're mindful of that. As mentioned, I think derivatives and margin are two products that, if we can unlock them and work with our regulators to find the balance between consumer protection and innovation, these would be very meaningful products for us to get off the ground and running in 2024. Whether or not those are, the first two, examples, or whether or not, there are others, I think at our core, on the back of integrating all of these crypto trading platforms and having 1.6 million registered accounts on a single platform, really naturally from there, it's going to be product focused. And what are the products and services that our clients are looking for? What are the improvements we can make to our existing products and services to give our clients what they're looking for, or answer some of the problems that they might be having? We really will look to invest heavily in the product to continue to grow out the products and services that are offered through WonderFi.
That's a very important mission and value proposition you're working on, really, for Canadian investors as well as other investors as well. Is there a final message you would like to convey to your current shareholders, and also people sitting on the fence? Why should they consider WonderFi as a potential stock to invest in?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say, the digital asset industry, has been quite volatile. If you look back over the last 10 years or the 5 years that I've been involved, and there are significant ups and significant downs. But if you look at things over a longer period of time, you do see growth over 3, 5 year, 10-year, timeframes. And there are companies through these, periods of consolidation that are focused on continuing to build products and continuing to grow despite the downturns and the negative sentiment. I think WonderFi has really proven to be one of those companies. If you think about, the downturn that crypto's experienced over the last year and a half, and the period of consolidation that has sort of, existed, WonderFi has used that to our advantage. Through that period of time, we've acquired 4 of Canada's leading crypto trading platforms. Through those acquisitions, we've acquired subsidiaries that offer diversified exposure to WonderFi shareholders with respect to SmartPay and the investment in Tetra Trust. And we think we are in a really strong position now, where WonderFi is the clear market leader in Canada with over 1.6 million registered accounts. And as the market continues to rebound, and continues to grow, WonderFi is going to be at the center of that in Canada. And we will continue to look to find ways to expand our footprint beyond the Canadian market, as we have done with SmartPay. And I would say that anyone that is looking to invest in the digital asset industry in Canada, we are, in our view, one of the best ways to do that. We offer diversified exposure. We have market leading positions in crypto trading platform segment. We have a growing business in the payments vertical, and we are the largest shareholder of Canada's only regulated custodian. We think the future is bright. We think there's a lot to be excited about, even though it may not feel that way if you look at the markets or if you look at recent charts. But we continue to have our heads down. We continue to work hard and improve our products and improve our processes internally to optimize for the synergies that we've identified through these acquisitions. And we're excited and happy to come back on in 3 months or 4 months and provide an update and see where we're at. But we certainly think we'll continue to make progress and be right at the middle of everything that happens in Canada in the crypto industry.
Absolutely. We'll be happy to see you again. Very encouraging and exciting indeed. Dean Skurka, the president and CEO of WonderFi, thank you so much for sharing all of those updates with us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to coming back.